Hey guys, it's Alicia. How are you today? It is April 1st. April Fool's Day! Yeah, no. I don't really do much for April Fools. Never been my thing. I'm not the prankster. I can see Caden as he gets older being into it because he likes to sneak up on people and tickle them and just generally have fun with people. So I could see when he learns what April Fool's is, he could be the prankster and jokester. I am just checking everything. I'm thinking my video might not have sound yet. It looked like it was working before, so I'm just trying to figure out why it might not be. What setting did I go under before? Well, it doesn't look like it's doing anything. Sorry guys, technical difficulties. And I don't know how to fix them. Just normally I see this thing as I'm talking that says that it's picking up my voice, so. Oh, hey, there we go. I see it now. It was just hidden. Yay, you guys have volume. I'm glad I sorted that out before I did 20 minutes of video. Alright, you guys have volume, we're all good. I went and picked up mail today and that's all I've done. I don't go into town if I don't have to. Yesterday was shipping day, so I shipped everything yesterday that I had and picked up mail, came home. Today I picked up mail. So I got this in stock. I had a customer in town order this in, so I have an extra one and I can bring more in, of course. It is called the Give With My Heart by Hands On Design. And it comes as a kit. So it comes with all the felt and buttons. You can also stitch it without them. If you decide, oh, I want to stitch 2 or 3 of them, you can stitch without them. But it does come with the buttons and felt. And a little charm. I didn't see that before. A little charm there. And it goes right there. So I have one more in stock. And the other one will go to the customer. We're gonna do a curbside pickup, drop off. I'm gonna take it somewhere and drop it off. She'll go and pick it up. What else? I'll show you what I've been doing for stitching. That's it for store, really. I'm working on getting stuff up on the website, but I also have books to do for my company and for my husband's company. So I'll be splitting up my time with website and books and kids and, you know, how it all goes. So I've been working on a little bit in the evenings on stitching. I've been using my little stitch gauge thread key. I'm only working one thread at a time right now, so I figured I would put it on there. And I've been working on my Lady and the Unicorn, and I'm working on the, bring that in so you guys can see. Whoa. I'm working on the clouds there, so I got all the blue done the other day, and now I'm working on filling in this white. And I got down to here, and I'll come down, there's a little bit there, so I come across here, there's a whole bunch, and then head over to the other side and work on that. And then I will start on that purple. I really like the purple. And that will do the clouds. And then I don't know if I'm going to do the little castle that's in this area here, or if I'm going to start working on the unicorn, because I started it. I was trying to do columns, and it doesn't work for me. Columns is not my thing. Cross country is my thing, it appears. So, yeah, I'm picking away at that. But today's April 1st, so that means I get to go back to my other one. So I'm going to do a demo for you guys because I got asked by a customer if I could. I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to take this off my frame, and I'm going to put my hands-on design because it's April 1st, so that means I get to start on May. That's kind of my high tea start, right? I'm going to put my hands-on design fabric in here, and then I will show you guys how I set up this long frame adapter and how it's used. So I will switch over to demo mode so you guys can see down here, and we'll get started on that. There we go. So I have my frame set up down here. I have the short one because I'm not in a recliner, so it will be right over me. And that's how it will sit. I need to back up a little bit and give myself some room. So that is where it will sit when I'm all set up. But first, I need to take this off. So I will just move my stuff. Hopefully I don't press any buttons that I shouldn't be. See? Like that. Right? Ah! What did I do? Silly Alicia. Oh, I switched my things. Don't mind me. I am not pro at computers. So to start with, I take this off. I loosen this one, the wing nut on the back. I will show you guys here. I loosen the wing nut. There's a washer there too, so I make sure the washer, when I put it on kind of like that. Pretend my fingers are this board up here. I put it on like that, and then tighten. And then the bottom, I loosen it, but it doesn't, mine's really stiff. I've played around with other people's, they're looser. But I just kind of loosen and I pull up on here so it loosens on the bar, and then I just slide my bar up. And there we go. Now my Omni frame is off, and if you can see here, I've attached it using this clamp. That is how I hold the long frame adapter in, and you can adjust it. You can put your clamp way up here and have way more workable area down low. All depends on what works for you when you're sitting, where you're sitting. So I'm just going to pull this off because I need to change my fabric out. So again, like I've said, it's really simple to change fabric out. I'm just going to adjust the camera so you guys can see what I'm doing here. There you go, there's my messy desk. That's tighten, this is loosen. Just loosen it all the way. They have come out with shorter bars, shorter side bars here. They've come out with 10 centimeter. And I mean, you look at it and I'll show you. Here's the 15 centimeter, right? And you're like, well, that's not much area. But when you extend it, you're out there. You're like 10 inches, which is fine. It's not that it's a bad thing. But my favorite Q-snap was 8 by 11. So when these are extended, they seem really big for me. I like that length total. So I'm gonna be excited to bring in those 10 centimeter ones. I haven't got confirmation about everything. I just seen them up on their site. So when I get more info, I will put them up and make them available to order and everything else. And they're doing another size for the rods too, which I believe are 50 centimeters. But don't quote me on that. I will, like I say, put it up on the site once I get confirmation and everything else. So there we go. Well done taking that little project off. And I will put my other project on. So I'm going to work on that, and I need that. I need my pattern. And I need the color that I'm going to start with. That's what I thought. I was just thinking, oh man, I don't have a needle minder on there. I'll have to grab it. Alright. Let's put this one onto the rods. So, normally you need the 3 inches, but I'm not working up there, so I'm just going to go ahead and tuck this in. And hopefully the stitches aren't too much for the rod. If you're worried about crushing your stitches, don't do it this way. I'm not worried about it. Just like that, you guys. I honestly love using this. Sorry, I wasn't paying enough attention. Make sure I've got a fairly even fabric here. There we go. That's why I like the idea of, which I did with that fabric, is you sew on another piece of fabric and you fold it over and you sew it closed, or you sew it all at once, and it gives you a loop, and you just put that loop through the rod and then put it in, right? Then you don't have to adjust, make sure you're not on an angle. Whereas this way, I have to pay attention to what I'm doing, right? It's not hard, you just gotta watch, that's all. And if you're like me and you're like, oh, I'll just switch out this project in 2 seconds, yeah. You end up with an angled piece of fabric. Which I think is why I don't like the other types of scroll rods, because I never sewed it on even. I could sit there and adjust and adjust and adjust, and I think unless I pinned it, it would not be even. But that's just me. I'm going to use my bobbin. How handy is that? Just take your bobbin and push it in there, right? Holds the fabric for you. If it's an empty bobbin, it might not work so well. There we go. The methods we come up with. So now, I take a look at my fabric on my rods, and I just kind of slide it over so it's nice and even, and make sure that both of them are sitting about equal. This one seems to be a little bit wider on the bottom, so I'm just going to split the difference. There we go. Now we do some rotation. or some rolling, I should say rolling. So I'm gonna go that far because that gives me enough room for my net start and for the bottom. That will be too much, so I have to come back one, and I'm gonna go so that I'm here, and I'm gonna do this one so that I'm there. There we go. I can count off of this one. Alright. 1 and 2. And there we go. Wrong way, Alicia. Wrong way. Now, if I would have been like paying attention, I would have put this on my knee on this side, but it'll work just fine. Looks like this side's coming way up. Yeah. I'm gonna try. It may be because there's more stitching on this side. I don't know. So what I'm gonna do adjust it. Right there. How smooth is that? There we go. Try again. That feels more even. Now, did I bring something to measure with? Of course not. That would have been thinking ahead. Right? What can I measure with? Alright. We'll go with paper. Right. So about there. A couple more turns on this side. There we go. Should be good. Alright, so how do we put this onto a long frame adapter? So, like I was showing you, I have my long frame adapter clamped in here, and you can clamp it anywhere along here that you would like. So if you want more work this way of the clamp, then you would just move this up higher. I like to have less. I like more room in here. This is where I switch my hands. Not that you can see very well right now. So I'm just going to put that in there. Which way? There we go. There we go. So I've got my clamp held in there. Now, I just take it and, let's see. Sorry. There we go. So I just slide it in underneath. Like I said, some of them are looser than mine. And I'm judging where I want my fabric here, like for this board, because this board in this area is going to block your stitching. You don't want to try and stitch around that. So for me, I'm stitching here, so I'm going to make sure this board is this way of what I'm stitching, judging off of what I have stitched. I think of it kind of like a typewriter in the aspect of you're going to slide it this way as you're going along, and then when you start back over here, you're going to bring it way over this way again, right? If I was stitching this one, I'd have it way over here so that this area is available. And then if I'm stitching there, I may have it way out, or I'd just take that off and put this right into the clamp. So bring that in, and now I tighten up the bottom so that it's fairly snug. And it takes a little bit to adjust. So I just tighten until it's snug. Sorry. If you don't like wing nuts, get someone to help you with them. Or you can get like a crescent wrench or something to make it easier to use. Or take it out of this clamp here to do this part of it and then put it in the clamp. But I find it easier to do it after. So now I put this on the top, and I make sure that the board goes in between the wing nut and this board. So I don't know. Bring this up. So I make sure that my wing nut is sitting on the bottom, and then I put that on. And I just kind of go over top. Now, this block, sorry, I'll loosen it up a bit more to show you more. Okay. Some of them are stiff, some are not. I'm just bringing this metal piece up in the block a bit. If you don't want the metal, it is galvanized. If you don't want it touching your work or your fabric on the back, or if you roll the other way and you have the front showing, you'll want to put a piece of fabric on it, just a grind guard or something. Just 1 second. That's my husband, and he's working outside on stuff, so I don't want to not answer him. Okay, so I have it sitting down. Now this block sometimes will have a space down here in this area when you tighten it, because it will change angle, which is fine as long as it's clamping here and behind here. You should be fine. There we go, nice and tight. So now I play around and make sure that it's not loose. See, I have a little bit of movement there, so I can tighten this one up again, or some more, I should say. There we go. Tighten this one up some more. And there you go, you're ready to stitch. And you're set up and ready to go. I'm just going to grab my needle minder. And these are my stitch counters. I call them bug stitch counters. And so I use them to count. from where I'm starting to where I'm gonna go to. And for me, my spacing between my previous one and my next one is 2 inches, so that would be 32 stitches, which is actually 64 strings. So I just count 32 stitches, or stitch worth. And I go off at the top of my work. So I just mark where my stitches are. So that is the top corner, and then I use the other one, and I count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, so that's 1 inch. Alright, well, it looks like he needs her right away, and that means I need to relieve the babysitter. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.